And we're live. Action.
All right. Back for another show. People. Oh,
Minor difficulties right now, but we're trying to get it through.
yep.
There we are. We made it.
There we are. There is today's guest, Parkway. How you doing today?
Parkway
Good.
SRG.
How are you?
Just in time. All right. Feel like I'm being stared at right now.
Yeah, you are definitely being analyzed. That is for sure.
Yeah.
How you doing today, Parkway?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You know, just trying to get through this coronacation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Coronacation.
Well, you know.
All right, let's ask the question about that one stump. I'm getting right at it.
Lewis has been dying to ask this for days.
There's that one stump that you took a picture of. It's just a little stick, probably about 3 inches, maybe so, but it has a hole down the middle of it. And we found that in, was it Ken's one of his videos too.
Ken King showed a picture of a cedar tree that had been broken, split apart like a banana, and the core of it was removed.
But yours wasn't split, but the core was still eaten out of it somehow. Pulled out.
Did you notice anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was blowing my mind because it was like so far apart. Well, not like, oh, they are states apart, but that's still far apart, you know. It's not like it's in the general area.
Right.
And I've never seen that before besides Ken's video, now yours. The similarities is pretty cool.
Yeah. You find a lot of structures out where you are.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. You found some pretty crazy stuff. I mean, that one that was wrapped up in a circle with the stick going through it.
Yeah, I found several.
Yeah.
And these are not little stick structures. These are like trees. And these are not trees that we can move. And I'm sure you don't have a big crane out there making these stick structures, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool. I don't find those a lot. I only found one channel that had ones like that or big. I mean, big ones that they could not move. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat.
How many different places do you have around your area that you frequent?
I've got too many.
too many.
I need to narrow
What's your
down
favorite?
things.
Do you frequent the Uwaris, right?
Sometimes, yeah. In December, yeah.
Yeah. Any weird stuff happen out there?
Yes.
Yeah. You care to tell that story?
Okay, I was down there in December, and I didn't give that much credence to the thing or whatever. But yeah, when I was down in Uares, I didn't want to camp by myself. Put it that way. I did not. It was scary.
Yeah. What made it scary?
Well, one night I was down there, and I heard crashing timber things, and then the next night I got eye shine. Same place, same time. It was all it wasn't. It wasn't. It was supposed to be that way, but I think it was. But yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't camp there that night.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
I went to the motel.
Heck yeah, huh?
Absolutely. I did.
You're like, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was there one night, and the next night, I went to the motel. Period. I was scared. It wasn't good. They didn't like me in their domain. Period.
Yeah, maybe you're too far in or something. Maybe back out, maybe just a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how it was in that situation, but it is pretty nerve-wracking knowing that there's bigger things out there. I mean, if you got in a tent, I mean, nothing's going to hurt you in the tent. The tent will protect you. Nope.
I don't think so.
Come on.
Yeah. The tent is the fortress of solitude, right?
Yeah. Just sitting there comfortably. Just listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the feeling, dude.
Yeah.
If I was my tent or whatever, I wouldn't feel safe. No, period.
Yeah.
My vehicle, even, I would not feel safe.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. You were in your truck, huh, when you saw that eye shine?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was.
Yeah. And you still didn't feel safe. How high off the ground would you say this eye shine was?
But there was two sets of eye shine. One of them was like,
two sets.
yeah. Mm-hmm. One of them was like, I don't know, 3 to 4 foot, and the other one was very high off the ground. I can't. It was scary because I went down there the next day, and it was way high off the ground. It had to be 7.5 foot, 8 foot off the ground, but it didn't stare at me at the same amount of time as the other eye shine.
You've got you found some stuff like directly around your house too, also, right?
Yeah, very close. Yeah.
Yeah. What have you found?
What, around my neighborhood?
What have you found around your house?
Tree structures.
Yeah, a lot of structures.
Yeah, absolutely. I was out earlier and I found some. Yeah.
Right on, right on. You've never had a sight other than the eye shine. You've never had an actual sighting where you knew what you were looking at.
No, I have not, but I've had a couple close encounters. Yeah. Positive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Care to go into any details about those?
Well, in the Juarez, yeah, I had a pretty close encounter.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, eye shine earlier. It was scary. I didn't want it to inflict or cause any malice or anything like that.
Yeah. It's when you're staring at one, you really got to kind of be on your tiptoes. You know what I mean? You don't know how they'll react to something what seems normal to us would offend them and put them into a quote unquote rage, you know?
Yeah, his predicament's kind of like mine. Like I had eye shine, but never seen one, and I really don't want to see it because I think it would really blow it for me wanting to go out there again. But I don't know. I know how I know exactly how he feels. But when did you start getting into this stuff? How long ago did you start, and what got you into it?
I guess it was about 2 years ago, whenever I had documents of them being there, and I was a believer, but yeah, I wasn't convinced. But whenever I saw some obvious tree structures, that's when I knew that, yeah, they exist, and it's paramount to oral history in this area.
What kind of historical stories do you have going on around there? You're in North Carolina, right?
hmm Yeah, I'm in the northwest corner.
Northwest corner.
hmm
What kind of historical stories do you have going on there?
Well, there's some people that I've talked to, and the fact that I believed made it very much tangible and more concise, if you will. But you know, the fact that a mountain nearby is called Booger, and
A fitting name for a mountain, Booger Mountain, right?
yeah, well, there's many uh, accounts on the BFRO in this area. I mean, just minutes away. So yeah, I mean, I can go like 10, 12 minutes and be where something happened, and I can document things, and it's very amazing. I did this earlier, and it's very rewarding, tangible, and concise. But I feel the same things you guys do. It's very good.
Yeah, you had some pretty substantially sized structures, made out of some pretty heavy timber going on around there. Um, it seems to be just about everywhere you go. Um, I mean, it doesn't really matter what direction you go in, you're gonna find something, right?
Yeah, pretty sure. Pretty I can find something, yeah. If
You
I'm
ever
looking
find
for it.
you ever find footprints and stuff like that, or do you ever go look for that, or is your main focus mostly on stick structures and tree structures and stuff?
I found multiple tree structures, but the footprints are very hard to find, especially around here
You know, pine
because
needles, right?
yeah, and the forest. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's hard to find them in pine needles because they're just cushion kind of thing, you know.
And plus, everybody wants that golden print. You know what I mean? The one that's just stepped in perfectly flat and right in just the right amount of wet mud, and you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
the
So
perfect print would be for me is I lay out the casting material and he steps in it.
there you go.
I mean,
There you go.
I just
Uh,
Sure. Yeah,
Chris
very.
Marola in the chat. He's got a question. If you've ever seen orbs out there in the woods,
Me myself, I have not, but my mother did. It was
yeah,
around the cemetery. It's around the cemetery, and that's where I have lots and lots of good luck, and I find things. My first egg structure was near a cemetery, or just right off a cemetery,
very
and
interesting.
yeah, I think it holds credence. I do.
yeah, I
What
heard
do you
they
think
like hanging out
the
there.
what do you think the connection is between them and cemeteries?
I really don't know, but I think it has part to do with you know, I think that they have ESP and they understand how people or mortals, when they suffer pain and grievance and things like that, they understand that a lot more than we do. I think they did. I think that they do, and that's something I'm dwelling upon. But it's really amazing that they understand things way more than we do. I think it's amazing. I think
Yeah,
it's tangible.
I agree with you on that. I think they have definitely a better understanding of nature and energy and how it all coincides together. You know what I mean? And they've got a better understanding of true emotion and stuff like that because they're not dealing with technology and they're not dealing with you know having to pay bills and all this other stuff that we do. Um, so they're a lot more freer to really think about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not worrying about the virus right now. You know,
Right, right,
I mean,
right.
the polio epidemic from years ago. They remember this, and that's why I think they avoid us. Why would they not?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I definitely think that in the beginning and stuff, they kind of had a relationship with early humans. You know what I mean? Indians and such. And then over time, they've seen disease come through and war and weapons and all this stuff, And I mean, if I were one of them, I'd definitely distance myself from them too. So, you know, I mean, over the generations, I mean, they've seen some stuff, I'm sure. And I'm sure those stories have also been passed down from generation to generation, just as ours is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see if we got another question here.
What tree structure did you find out there that impressed you the most out there? That was just something that just really impacted you.
When I found my first one.
Your first one?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was almost 2 years ago, and then that's when I succumbed to the fact that they was real, and I mean stuff like that doesn't happen in nature.
Yeah.
When I saw my first tree structure, I know something about building and construction. When I saw my first tree structure, I was amazed. I was bewildered, and I'm still to that
That's
way
cool.
today. Hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and it's not very often that you find somebody that can just look at a structure and then believe. We need more people like that out there. I tell you that. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I would be out there.
there's a lot of stuff out in nature that is obviously natural and stuff, but I'm sorry, but when you get a 60-foot tree snapped at both ends and leaned upside down into the crotch of a fork, they're 30 feet up in a tree. Okay, that didn't happen naturally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
So,
Never.
yeah. Um, what's your take on the interdimensional aspect or theory?
Well, I think some of them have. I think some of them have interdimensional abilities, but not all of them. No, I don't think so. Some of them, yeah, but some of them, they're just like you and I. Some of them have VSP, some of them do not. Uh, it's crazy, is it not? But
And the crazy thing is, there's no wrong answer. There's nobody really knows. We all have speculations at what we think it might be, and who are we to tell that anybody's wrong about what they're saying, because we just don't know. So you could be right about all that. So, and I think that's the fun part about Bigfoot is, you can speculate what it is without really having to know. And that's the fun part about going out, is trying to find out.
Right.
Going out there,
Right.
going to the unknown and find out the truth of something that we may never know.
Exactly.
Right.
But the quest continues, right?
Yeah, and it continues with all of us
Mm-hmm.
as a big team. You know what I mean? So, that's the whole point of doing this channel and this podcast. Show people that there are no wrong or right answers, and no one's theories are right or wrong.
Right.
And any evidence is good evidence.
Yep.
So,
Chris wants to know if you ever left a gift for Bigfoot.
No, I have not.
Have they ever left you a Bigfoot gift?
I've rearranged some stones in the past, but I don't want to. I never want to, like alter the way of existence. I mean,
right. You don't want to have any ill effects on what they do naturally.
I
You don't want to be imposing and stuff like that.
I don't want to follow. I don't want them to follow me home. I do not.
Oh, well, I've heard theories and stuff where even just going out there looking and finding their structures, even just something simple as that, is kind of an invitation for them to follow you home.
Just going out there, I guess.
I don't think that they follow me home. I really do, because of my intervention.
Man, I wish they'd follow me home. I would set cameras all over the place, man.
They've done followed you home.
Man.
Seriously, you don't know, but yeah, they probably done followed you home.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of town, unless they flew a drone into my house or something. I'm like,
I have a theory on how they supposedly follow people home, and everybody has a different frequency. Everybody vibrates at a different frequency and level and stuff like that. And I think they have the ability to read that frequency.
mm-hmm.
Kind of like a TV reads the frequency for a specific channel. And, they just tune into that frequency and they go, oh, it's right there. Let's go. Boink. There we are. I don't know. But I know when I was investigating an area I no longer go to, after going there, I've had some weird stuff happen at my house. I'll tell you that. Some really odd stuff has happened at my house. I'm not saying it was them. I'm not saying anything, but it's odd that it happened after I went there and had the experiences that I had. So, it just, I don't know. Like you said, some may use the interdimensional thing and some choose not to, So.
You never know. I mean, I heard people say that they've been walking in the woods and then all of a sudden ahead of them, a Bigfoot started walking out of nowhere. But that could have been, could have been true. Who knows?
Yeah, it's just like a lot of the footprints. People are following footprints and all of a sudden they just stop.
Yeah. Yeah, a guy was chasing a black shadow. I don't know what it was, but he said he was chasing it and his partner saw him running after it. And then they went into the trees, and then as they're running, it just disappeared.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No.
It's all kinds of different things. You never know what's out there.
Ken King has a question. Have you ever went searching over around the Cherokee area in North Carolina?
The Cherokee area, no, I don't have to. Everything is good here. Yeah, the Cherokee is a very good area.
Yeah.
It's synonymous. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, you don't have to go far, do you?
No, just a few minutes and I can be in their back door. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've answered, you've never had a sighting. Do you want to have a sighting?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've had a couple of close encounters, but no, nothing tangible, nothing concise.
I think the only way it's not going to happen is if we go with you, we stay until nighttime, and then we tie you to a tree, and then leave. And then you will have that sighting. you will not stay.
Okay, you guys come here, and I could probably guarantee that. I don't know, but
if we're with you, you leave.
Yeah.
There's places I want to go camp now, but I won't camp there alone. 2 years ago, yeah, I would camp there, but now, no. Not that I know what I know now. No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to camp there. No,
Yeah.
not alone.
Yeah.
There could be some repercussions, but at the same time, the place where I want to go to camp, they know me. I'm positive they know me and they respect me, and that's something very, very tangible. Because there's places I can go to, I don't feel welcome, and they don't know me, they don't like me, they don't respect me.
Yeah.
And it varies, and it can happen just within a few miles of where I live now. It's very, very crazy.
It's one thing I've learned in all of this is you really got to trust your feelings. Yeah. You know what I mean? You just got to quit using the brain and go with the heart. If something don't feel right, then you need to go. Have you ever thought about gifting at the area where you feel welcome? You think that might trigger a sighting?
I don't think that's necessary, but I've wanted to do the gifting thing, but I don't have to. I don't think that I give up food or anything. If I just go up there and camp, I think that they're year round, so I don't think that's necessary, because they know me and they respect me. And before they know me and respect me, I believed in them more than most people do. But now I know. And if I was to go up there now, they would respect me and they would welcome me in, because that's testament in that video.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. John Rodriguez is over here in the chat, says Lewis won't tie you to a tree. It's just going to super glue your tent zippers. So.
Yeah. That's my uncle, John Rodriguez.
Right.
Yeah.
You lived in North Carolina your whole life, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Did you grow up with any of your grandparents or family members telling you stories about stuff like that out in the woods?
Yeah, actually, there's a mountain around here called Booger Mountain. Yeah.
So they told you stories about Booger Mountain, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What was that like growing up?
It's mine to it until I do now. But yeah, that's where I'd love to camp. Not alone, but I'd love to camp up there because it's a magical area, and they're there. They're on one side of the mountain or the other. Positive. Within 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, they were there.
Yeah. You think they just kind of migrate around, or you think they're there all year, or you
I
think they
think
kind of
they.
have like a little territory they rotate through?
I don't think they have to, because everything they got fresh water, they got nourishment, they got water, shelter, they got everything mankind needs right there.
Right on.
And
Uh,
that's why I don't gift. I would think it being disrespectful if I gift them with a food or something because they don't need it. It's not necessary. I just want to admire them, respect them, and I don't know, just hold credence to everything that they do. And I still can't fathom it. I don't understand. But I'm trying. Every day I'm trying. But
well, I mean, none of us really understand, and we're all doing the same thing you're doing. Is trying to figure things out. So, I mean, we're all in the same boat together.
Just got
You
to find
know,
different techniques, you know.
right, right, right. You know,
Like Ken and Rachel, they're always thinking outside the box. You know, they're always finding new ways to figure out something, and I think that's the beauty of it because you can't go wrong no matter which way you're going with it. You know,
right, right.
I was like looking.
Bronzini Bigfoot over in the chat. He's asking, have you ever had any experience with mind speak?
yes,
Really?
I have. Hmm.
Want to tell us about that experience?
I guess it was back in the summer. Um, I was in the zone where I videotaped earlier, and I was in there. I was in the zone, and I think they was present, you know, and it was really, really crazy. But the mind speak still exists to this day. I mean, it altered everything that I done. I was crazy. I drove around in circles. This is when I think that I got hit with infrasound or bioacoustics for that matter. And this really happened. Um, it was really, really crazy. I drove around in circles and I called a friend of mine that he had an encounter. It's been a long time ago, but this is the thing. People don't think that they exist, but they do. They do exist. I mean, but anyway, I think I got hit with infrasound and I was crazy. I drove around in circles. And guess what? I couldn't find my vehicle, but it was up or downhill. And it was next to a power line. That's one thing I want to add in, that it was under a power line. And this was pretty close to where I know four people had an encounter, or and it's still concise today. It's still tangible. I mean, I think they're still there today. I really do. It might be a large circuit, it might be a very large loop, but I think they're still there. I know they're still there. I don't have to prove it to nobody. I mean, uh, I just don't. I don't want them to follow me home. I do not. But I think that they're in the national parks all around me. I mean, I really do.
Yeah, yeah, you're surrounded by a bunch of national parks in that area, so
Hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt that you've got a fairly sizable amount of them in that area for sure. You know, um, you had any experiences you couldn't explain?
Yeah, like down in the Uaris where I got the eye shine. Yeah, I can't explain that. I can't
Yeah,
explain that. No,
yeah.
no, they scared
It's
me. They scared me. I went back to camp.
yeah,
I wasn't going to camp
yeah.
there.
You saw something 2 nights in a row, right? In the exact same spot.
Yeah, over several nights. Okay, it was it's a national park. I don't care to say it. It was the mouth of Moccasin Creek. Moccasin Creek. Empties out into Uwharrie River. But there's a whole lot of encounters there, multiple. But I went down there during hunting season. It was just before Christmas. I didn't expect anything, but yeah, I got more than I was bargained for. Yeah, I got scared. I mean, I saw eye shine. Um, I think it was December 27th, just after Christmas. I got two large tree snaps or tree breaks at dusk, and this it didn't sound like it was above ground. It sounded like it was way above ground. Okay, it didn't sound like it was somebody stepping on a log or something. It was off the ground. And then the following evening, I got two sets of eye shine, and I've never seen so much braving eye shine in my life. I mean, they was looking at me. They was looking at me, and they was very, very brazen. Like I said, they didn't. I saw two sets. One of them was
Yeah,
probably 3 or 4 foot off the ground, and going to look back at it later, one of them was probably 6 to 7 feet off the ground. The eye shine. Yeah, absolutely. I was there. I was sitting there. I mean, I know. I was
what
scared.
color? What color was the eye shine?
It was like an amber color.
Oh, an
Just
amber color.
mm-hmm.
Nice.
Just like
Yeah,
amber. But okay, imagine two amber glows, and then around the outside, it was personified. Just like a star or a sun.
right, right. You get that line around the outside edge of it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's very very tangible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever talked to anybody that has had any encounters or sightings in that area, like firsthand encounters?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Multiple people. Um, we can go back to 1995. My best friend, he had an encounter, and that's where I've got a lot of good, stick art, if you will. And I've talked to other people. Uh, I just wish they would, talk to me about this encounter or whatever. But yeah, I mean, my best friend, he saw one pretty close to where I'm at right now back in 1995, and he left his encounter with Wes Germer. But we're good friends right now. But yeah, I know four people that saw the same being in that same area in 1995, and it was ironic that I was in the same room when they told me about this. It was something you don't tell to people. You don't tell them about I saw a 7.5 foot being here pretty close to where I live and other people live, you know, but it was real. And it convinced me right then that, I these people saw something that I didn't see, but yet at the same time, I believe them. And I know 4 or 5 people in this area, and 4 of them saw the same thing, but you can go back like 50 years and there's people that saw something that, and, and let me tell you, they was on 2 legs and 4 legs, and they scared people. And they're here. I mean, period. They're here.
Yeah, I've heard several accounts of them of doing all 4 legs or 2 legs. You know, um, it's very interesting. You know, they seem to be just as comfortable on all 4s as they do on 2 legs, and that's not typically natural for any animal in the world. You know, they usually look either more comfortable on 2 legs or more comfortable on 4 legs, but never both. You know, so yeah, that would be definitely something out of the ordinary. You know, being out there in the woods to see. Um, what's your take on the human or ape theory?
I think they're more human than human. That's what I think.
That's a good way of putting it. More human than human. I'll
Yeah.
agree with that, man. I know some humans that are just freaking animals. You know?
Well, they don't have an iPod, you know.
Right. They don't have an iPad. They don't have cell phones. They don't have.
No, but they're naked and free. They do what they want to do, and yet they've survived for centuries. I think that's testament. I really do. And I think
Right.
you would agree.
Absolutely, I would agree that is absolutely a testament to their kind. I mean, humans have pretty much just almost invaded almost every square inch of this world, you know, and yet they still manage to avoid us, you know.
Of course,
So
especially
yeah,
now.
especially now, you know, and
I think they remember polio with the Native Americans. I think they remember all that stuff.
oh yeah, I bet they remember the Civil War and all that stuff too. You know, I think they sat there and watched it happen. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know. So, um, it's interesting and stuff to hear all these different theories, you know, and thoughts from people out there doing it. You know what I mean? People who've had sightings and people who haven't. You know, um, it's a cool deal. It's a cool deal.
You ever had anything thrown at you while you're out there doing your thing? Besides squirrels dropping stuff from
I think one time that I did, it was actually videotaped it. But I went to record a lot of stuff off camera, and I turned off the camera and I got a twig thrown at me from nowhere. It was just like it just landed there. Just like a twig, you know, just ordinary, you know, just a twig.
Yeah.
A twig. And this was after I filmed some stuff, and this is a still area I research and stuff, but it's very, very crazy out there. I don't think they like me out there because I'm new or whatever, but other places.
So what gives you the feeling that they don't like you there? You know, I mean, is it just a feeling of not, being welcome in an area, or
they don't
you get the feeling of fear?
They don't like me, or they dislike humans, I think.
Oh, you think it's just a human thing?
Hmm. Yeah, I do. Because I've
So
been multiple places, and I don't think that they care for it.
yeah, I've been to one area where I could definitely guarantee they don't like humans. That's for sure. So, but I mean, I had the feeling I was being watched the entire time, and I know I was being followed. And one point, I had the feeling that if I didn't get out of there, I was gonna something bad was gonna happen. So, but in other places and stuff, it's just like no feeling at all. But I know they're there, you know. So, but this particular, the ones that I get no feeling at, they sit there and watch humans all day long. So that would make sense that I don't get that feeling, you know. So yeah, Chris Marola has a comment. He's saying they don't like anybody in the beginning. So
No, I don't think so. There's one place that I go to, and I didn't know, but I believed, and I've been to that area since, and they accept me. You know why? Because I'm down to earth, and they realize that I'm just appreciating their art. That I respect what they do. And I'm trying to learn from them. I'm trying, and I do respect everything that they do, but it's really, really hard to go into these areas and accept it because we're just human. I mean, it's very, very hard. It's very hard.
You ever gone into the area and then seen a tree structure and then go back again and it was gone? You ever seen them just disappear, take them down,
No, I've seen them altered. Yeah, I've seen them
altered?
altered or different. Yeah, but no, uh, they've been there for like 2 years. This tree structures. They might be altered a little bit, but I don't think so. No.
Mm. I heard in Canada that people would go see a big one, and then they'd come back and it's all gone. The wood is gone, and these are big trees too. So I wasn't sure if they did that down there where you're from.
I've not seen it yet, but I will document it if I do.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
yeah, very interesting. And me and Lewis and stuff were talking too. From North Carolina to where Ken and Rachel King are in Arkansas to where we are here in Southern California. That all their stuff is different. And we all think it's based on what they have at their disposal to do what they need to do with. You know what I mean? Like you in North Carolina, you got big trees, so they're able to make these big, huge structures. But here in Southern California, we don't have very many big trees, so they're doing little glyphs and hollowing out bushes, and you know a lot of times nothing at all. It's very hard to find any sign of them. The ones around here don't make any vocals. They don't vocalize. Um,
They do small ones. They do little growls and barks and stuff, but they don't do like big, huge howls and things like that. They definitely don't do that.
no, they don't. No, that's a. Have you ever heard any vocalizations out in your area?
No, but I have recordings. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm. Uh,
interesting.
in one area where I've frequent and where I'm welcome. But see, that's the thing where I'm welcome. I didn't really believe before. I mean, I believed, but I wasn't like totally convinced. But since I've been to that area, yeah, absolutely. And they know me. And that's the reason because I believed and they know me before that fact. And I respect their art, and I respect what they do.
Right. I definitely think they're.
And trust me, guys, that is very, very tangible.
Yeah, I definitely think they are very respect driven.
If they know you, if they know you beforehand, and they respect you, and your intentions are good, I'm not going to exploit this species. I'm just enamored and bewildered by what they construct and what they build in the woods, and they know that. They know that. And whenever I go into the woods, I don't have to do a wood knock or something like that. They know me. They know me. When I shut my vehicle off, they know me.
Yeah, they're probably watching you from the second you pull up.
They know me beforehand. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
They know my
that's for
vehicle.
sure.
They're probably like, this guy's coming back, and he's gonna, he's going to be enamored by their constructions and their builds, and they're going to say, yeah, as long as I don't want to exploit them, but yeah, I'm enamored. I love their builds and their construction. I really do. To this day.
Right.
I was there earlier, and the big X along the roadway.
Now you've worked at Christmas tree farms too, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything odd there ever happen?
Oh yeah, they're there.
Yeah. Yeah, they just cruising around the Christmas tree farm making structures out of your trees, or?
I think after you like spray a lot of chemicals and stuff, yeah, they're there.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the same time, I think they're still there for other reasons, because it's like an old apple orchard, grape orchard. I mean, there's all kinds of life there. They got no reason to migrate. That's why they're there year round. I'm pretty sure, yeah, they're here year round in a place I could go to now.
That's cool.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed. I've actually noticed that too in northern Idaho. Once I determined that, yeah, they were on the property. Okay, well, what times of the year are they on the property? Well, come to find out, they don't go anywhere. They don't need to. So, there's plenty of water, there's plenty of cover, and there's plenty of food. Mm-hmm. Even during the winter, there's plenty of food. They don't need to go anywhere. One thing I did notice is that when the temperatures drop and it snows, the activity does immediately stop.
So I wonder if they use the trees to, if they're bigger trees, then they can get because even some videos I've seen, they had one footprint between two trees that are separated pretty distant, only one footprint in between. So they couldn't jump from one tree to the other. They had to come down and step one time in the snow. And a lot of people that used to do a lot of cutting trees down mentioned that before too. A lot of reports found only one footprint out there in the snow. So they figure they're jumping from tree to tree, keeping out of the snow, because they know not to leave footprints,
Right. Well, this has been interesting conversation.
Hey, all of them seem interesting.
All of them have been very, very interesting.
Where'd he go? He must have got mad. No. He's like, I'll never. No.
Well, I don't know. His signal is pretty spotty out there. I mean, if he just moves his phone a little bit, it would probably cut out. So,
yeah.
Well, I really hope he has his sighting very soon. Yeah. Hopefully. So it sounds like he definitely wants to see one, but he wants it to be on their terms, not his, which is cool, which is very cool. He shows a lot of respect.
Yeah. But I think he wants to be with somebody when it happens.
Yeah, but I mean, we talked about this last night too. I mean,
Yeah.
You go out by yourself, I go out by myself. Chris Marola goes out by himself. Bronzini goes out by himself.
Yeah.
And if they wanted to kill you, we'd be dead.
It wouldn't matter how many people you had anyway. But yeah,
exactly. But I think we all agree that going out by yourself yields the best results.
it does. You get more
You know what I
activity.
mean? As nerve-wracking as it may be,
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it on your channel last night.
Yeah.
It's one thing to go in with no expectations,
Yeah.
and then to find out that they are there, and then it's very nerve-wracking going back knowing that they are there.
Exactly. Just like
So-
Chris said, he said they block his door it's difficult for him to open the door to get outside.
Yeah.
I mean, they're at his house.
Yeah. Well,
I am coming over.
Chris has had some crazy stuff happen too, which is documented on his channel.
Yeah.
And I don't even think he knows still to this day what did it, because I don't think it was a bear that did what
Yeah.
what happened. So a lot of actually, speaking of Chris, he's got a question. Portal ? You think they use portals or something like that?
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some of them do. Yeah, of course. I don't
Yeah.
think all of them do, but I think some of them have, celestial powers. So yeah, absolutely. Not all humans have ESP. Not all humans are psychic. Everybody has their own certain abilities. But yeah, of course, especially the older ones, the more ancient ones, absolutely. I think that they have celestial and special powers that we do not possess. We might possess them, but I don't, But yeah, absolutely, I think they do.
Cool. Well, you think those abilities are like handed down and taught by the older generation to the younger generation?
Yeah, of course, just like oral history and, we go to school.
Just like our history, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think it's more natural to them. I don't think it's no, I think some of them are older than us, and they have special powers, especially cerebral powers. I do think that they have that. I think that they're more human than we are. They are our brothers, and they are older than us. Therefore, they know. I mean, how many people can make it right now with all this crisis going on, without going to the grocery store, all this stuff? I mean,
Yeah.
they are the ultimate survivalist. They can do everything they want to do. And,
I agree with that 1,000%.
yeah,
Absolutely.
our mortality has nothing to do with their existence or their well-being, and it never will, because they're not fools, and they understand. Yeah, they done been through this, and I respect them, and that's why you and I and everybody, we can learn from them. I mean, it's just I just wish I could. I just wish I could understand.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what we're working for. We're working on that for sure.
Absolutely.
Just keep going out there. But we are up on time right now. We only got like 20 seconds or so. So I want to thank everybody for coming by again. Appreciate it, really do. And thank you, Parkway.
Yes, thank you, Parkway, for joining us and giving us your experiences and your thoughts and your theories. It's always wonderful to hear different people's perspectives.
And you can post your stuff into my Facebook group if you want. You know, your videos. If you don't, then I'm going to do it myself. So, just to get your stuff out there some more. And so, you got anything else to say? Oh my gosh, we're like 25 seconds past it. No.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Who we have next week?
Next week is actually Easter, so we got nothing. So I think we're just gonna do
us.
We're just gonna freestyle with the chat.
Yeah, if you guys ever want to come in on Easter,
yeah,
pop in and talk. Just
yeah,
like
we're just gonna freestyle with the chat and pick each other's brains.
Yeah,
you know,
we can all do this.
All right, guys. So with that,
Chris, to come in.
Everybody have a good night.
Next week, Chris.
Yeah. I think actually, I think after Easter we have Cryptid 559.
Oh yeah.
And so
yeah. All right, guys.
All right, everybody.
Love you guys.
Everybody have a good night. Thanks for tuning in, and thank you, Parkway, for your time.
Thank you. See you.
All right.
All right.
Later.
Good night.